Early in 2020, at the headquarters of SBS, one of South Korea's biggest news networks, all the press reporters were sitting in a conference hall watching a video. Sweat was dripping down their foreheads. Their hands were shaking, and their faces showed a strange kind of tension. Because in the video they were watching, there was a minor girl who was completely naked. She had no clothes on at all. She was covering her face with a black carry bag, and she was making a weird sign saying, "I am the slave of Bassa, and if SBS ever publishes any video or news about Bassa or the ANTHROOM, she will come right in front of the SBS headquarters and set herself on fire." You might find this strange because it's just some random video. So why are these reporters so scared after seeing it? The video could even be fake. And who in their right mind would risk their life for someone else? But every reporter there knew exactly who was behind this girl's actions. For that person, having the girl killed was no big deal, because that guy had already committed over 100 disgusting crimes before this, and he didn't care at all about anyone's life. So what exactly are Bassa and ANTHROOM? In this video, we're going to dive deep into that. Welcome back to another video from Detail. This video, we're going to talk about the case of ANTHROOM. So, Red Room is a conspiracy concept that people claim exists on the dark web. Sure, for those who don't know what a Red Room is, it's basically a live stream on the dark web where a person is tortured live. It's just like a YouTube live stream, where a streamer is broadcasting, and viewers tell them what to do through super chats. Similarly, on the dark web, there's a live stream where people are tortured, and the audience sends instructions through super chats by paying with Bitcoin. They give instructions, and those instructions range from sexually torturing a person to separating their head from their body. But till now, there's no valid or real evidence that a Red Room actually exists. And practically speaking, live streaming on the dark web is nearly impossible, because when we access the dark web, our IP address keeps shuffling multiple times, so the user's identity doesn't get revealed anywhere. That's why live streaming on the dark web is practically impossible. What if I told you this? Whatever was happening on the dark web was all happening through a simple mobile app. And that app currently has over 1 billion downloads. It's already downloaded on all our phones. Telegram is an encrypted messaging app with really strong security and encryption. Overall, Telegram is a pretty good messaging app with lots of downloads and positive reviews. But if something good exists in this world, it has two sides, good and bad, and a person, just like Telegram, a simple mobile. In today's video, we're going to see how the app worked like a dark web business model and how it was used to torture people. On March 11th, 2019, the mailbox of South Korea's Hankyoreh newspaper received an email from an anonymous ID called Joker. Investigator Kim Won from Hankyoreh opened and checked the email. Inside, there were some videos with a watermark that said, "Slave of Bassa." When he played one of those videos, he was completely shocked. In a video, a high school girl wearing her school uniform goes into the boys' bathroom at her school. Once inside, she starts leaking one of the urinal sinks. We all know how those boys' bathrooms are kept. Pretty gross and smelly, especially since it was a public restroom. She's leaking the urinal sink there. While doing this, the awful urine smell hits her face hard, but she still sticks her whole head inside the sink and keeps leaking it over and over. She had a smile on her face while doing it. She was laughing and looked like she was eager to do all this. She seemed happy about it, but tears were streaming down her eyes. She was crying and laughing at the same time. Her body was shaking. Watching her, it didn't look like she was doing it willingly, more like someone was forcing her. After everything, she made a weird sign and said, "I am the slave of Bassa, and I am happy." Seeing all this, Kim Won felt really strange and got traumatized. They left because they had never seen a video like that before. Then, they closed that video and played another one, which also had a watermark saying, "Slave of Bassa." When they played that video, it showed a minor girl being forced to insert live worms inside her genitals. And the girl was following those instructions without any questions. She was inserting live worm caterpillars inside her genitals. It sounds really disgusting, but Kim was watching those videos, and all those things were completely unrelated. In that video, something was happening to a victim, and at the end of the video, the victim says, "I am the slave of Boxa, and I am happy." Seeing all this, Kim Vaughn was really shocked. He felt like, what kind of world is this, where people are being tortured so badly? He closed that video and played the third one. The third video crossed all limits because a girl was being instructed to insert multiple pens, the whole bunch of pens, into her vagina to turn it into a pen stand. And she had stuck a bunch of penises inside her genitals and was calling herself a pen stand. She was saying, "I am the pen stand of Boxa, and I am happy," laughing while doing it. Kim Vaughn kept wondering, what kind of compulsion do these people have? Why are they doing all this? Who is this Boxa? Whose instructions is he following? All these questions were running through Kim Vaughn's mind. After seeing all this, he was completely shocked. He had no idea what to do next. When he looked closely at that email, there was a link provided there. When they tapped on that link, they directly joined a Telegram group called ANTHROOM. There was a general chat room where the audience, meaning the members, were discussing things that were honestly really disgusting to hear. They were talking about hardcore content. Discussions were going on about how to torture girls and stuff like that. And that Telegram group had over 9,000 members. There were also some sub-chat rooms, like Slave Room, Female Child Room, Valet Your Acquaintance Room, Box's Room. The Basa's room had two names. Box is a Korean word that means doctor. That room was called both Box's Room and Doctor's Room. In this video, I'll keep using this term again and again. So, just understand that box and doctor mean the same thing, just said differently in different languages. And finally, the room God. A lot of people were talking about the God room in the chat. They were saying how God is, strange term, he used to bring really good content. Watching his stuff was so much fun. He used to post some seriously intense content. He made pretty disturbing videos. And he didn't even charge money for it. But where did he disappear to? Why hasn't he posted any videos yet? Why did he go inactive? Everyone was talking about this. So Kim Vaughn tries to join that chat room. But the God who gives access to join wasn't there. So Kim Vaughn enters the doctor's room instead. There were some trailer videos in the doctor's room featuring underage girls. End quotes. She was being sexually tortured. When they played and checked a sample video from there, it showed a minor girl being forced by Basa to masturbate using an object. Basa told the girl to masturbate herself with something we can't even imagine. Basa told the minor girl to use a knife to masturbate. And we all know a knife is a sharp object that cuts the skin. The girl was doing this while laughing. Her genitals were already badly damaged. Blood was dripping from there, but the girl was laughing, and she was torturing herself. And in the end, she says again, "I am the slave of Boxa, and I'm happy." Meanwhile, the members in that chat room were entertained. They were laughing. Seeing that girl, they were saying how much fun that guy must be having. It was all pretty disgusting. When Kim Vaughn checked the subrooms of that chat room, each subroom had a different fee, and each room had a different level of torture. The more money you paid, the more hardcore it got. Content hard room membership price, 2.5 lakh. One high railing sponsor room membership price, 5 lakh. One special room membership price, 10 lakh. The more money you paid, the tougher the torture, the more hardcore the content. People would pay to buy memberships and watch the boxed content. Payments were always made in cryptocurrency, so no one could track the transactions. Once this all came to light, Kim Vaughn published an article about Basa and ANTHROOM on the front page of the Uncure newspaper on November 9, 2019. After the article was published, things got intense. It didn't matter because people thought it was just some normal sextortion, child porn, or hidden camera MMS stuff. So, they didn't take it seriously and just ignored it. But those who did read it criticized Hans Cure, asking why they put such news on the front page. Meanwhile, others who read the article didn't raise their voice against the ANTHROOM issue. Instead, they went straight to joining ANTHROOM and started enjoying the content there. The article being published, before, there were only 9,000 members in the ANTHROOM. But after the article was published, that number jumped straight from 9,000 to 260,000. Han Kure unknowingly ended up promoting the doctor's room. Meanwhile, Boxa poked Han Kure and changed his Telegram username from Box to the only one Han Kure promoted. And Boxa gave free access to the doctor's room to everyone who discovered it through Han Kure's article. Because of this, everyone's appreciating Boxa. People were saying how awesome the Box's content is. The guy who gave us all this content for free is amazing. It would have cost lakhs, but still, Box gave it to us for free. Because of this, Box was getting a lot of praise in the chat room. Meanwhile, some people were leaking investigator Kim Won's personal details in the chat room, like his family info, address, contact number, everything. And they were threatening him, saying they'd break into his house and beat him up. Seeing all this, Kim Won was totally shocked. Because they had videos that Won hadn't shared anywhere else. Those videos were only on their phone. But now, all those videos were randomly circulating in chats on ANTHROOM. Seeing all this, he got really scared. Some of Boxa's victims read Han Kure's article and reached out to Han Kure for help. But as soon as Boxa found out, Boxa took their videos out of the doctor's room and put them in the general room so everyone could see them. And he even put a watermark on them. He claimed to be the first victim of Han Kure. Boxa wanted to indirectly blame Han Kure for the victim's condition. Box would trap his victims through social media platforms like Instagram and Twitter. Box always posted job ads on Twitter and Instagram related to fashion and modeling, where a girl's physical appearance mattered a lot. And Boxa targeted these ads specifically at teenagers. So whenever a teenager saw the ad, they would apply for the job. Just like that, whenever girls saw the ad, whenever she saw an opportunity, she'd apply right away because teenagers are usually really into fashion and modeling. That's why girls who looked good and had a decent personality would all apply for those jobs. While applying, Boxa would collect their personal details like home address, government ID, contact number, and their parents' info. Then, Boxa would get them to download the Telegram app. He'd conduct their interviews there on Telegram. During the interviews, he used to behave really well with them. He acted super friendly and honest, so he could gain those girls' trust. As soon as Boxa earned their trust, he would ask them for photos. The girls didn't get too suspicious because it was related to modeling jobs. So, the girls would send him quite a few good photos. Once Boxa received those photos, he'd offer them a deal. If they sent him fully nude pictures, he could get them a high-paying job. Because of this, girls used to fall for Boxa's talks and send their completely nude photos to him. As soon as Boxa received those photos, he'd trap those girls from every side because he already had all their details. Now that he had their nude pics too, Boxa would use all that to corner them. Usually, Boxa's victims were high school or teenage girls who did this secretly, hiding it from their parents while applying for jobs. When those girls found out that he was bad, they were completely trapped. And if Boxa could tell their parents about it, the parents would just accept every single order from Box without asking questions. Slowly but surely, they ended up becoming Boxa's unpaid sex slaves, and Boxa used them however he wanted. Boxa did this to a total of 103 girls, 26 of whom were minors. About 3 to 4 months after Han Kure's article was published, a trend started on Twitter and Reddit called Catch Boxa and ANTHROOM. People wanted to catch Boxa. This trend blew up big time, gaining massive traction. So, South Korea's one of the biggest news networks, SBS, was thinking about investigating and broadcasting a story on Box and ANTHROOM. But SBS didn't have any info related to ANTHROOM. So, they were looking for someone connected to ANTHROOM who had inside information. But even after many days, SBS couldn't find anyone linked to ANTHROOM. So, SBS went straight to ANTHROOM themselves and dropped a message. Contact the SBS team if. Do you have any info on Boxa? Just a few minutes after that, Basa himself replies to the message, and Boxa says, "You losers are looking for me." Boxa had blind faith in Telegram's encryption and security. Basa calls SBS into a private chat room and starts a conversation with them. During that chat, Boxa reveals that besides his ANTHROOM, he's involved in other illegal businesses too, like online drug selling and a private investigation company. Boxa acts like a boss throughout the whole conversation. He was behaving a certain way. The way he talked, his slang, it was all like some kind of teenager. But he was trying to act like an adult. He wanted to show that he was a grown man. But from what he said, it didn't really come across that way. He sounded more like a teenager. So, SBS didn't take Boxa's words seriously. And at the end of the conversation, Boxa even said that if SBS published any article or broadcast any news about Boxa and ANTHROOM, then this is going to end really badly. SBS thought Boxa wouldn't be able to do anything. So, on November 17, 2019, SBS broadcasted news about Boxa and ANTHROOM. Just a few hours after the news went live, a video was uploaded on ANTHROOM. The video had a watermark that said, "First victim of SBS." When they played the video, there was a girl in it. She looked like a teenager. She was completely naked, with no clothes on her body. She covered her face with something black. She had covered it with a carry bag. Then she showed Boxa's signature and said that if you guys publish any article about Boxa or anything about the bathroom, or if you broadcast any news on it, within the next 5 days, that girl will come in front of the SBS headquarters and set herself on fire. Watching this video, all the SBS reporters were shocked. Their hands were shaking. They were really scared because in some way, SBS was responsible for that girl's condition. If they hadn't published the article or broadcast the news, then Boxa would have done what he did. You don't treat a girl like that. That's why they first decide how they're going to rescue her one way or another. SBS had done a good amount of research on Boxa. They knew Boxa had 103 sex slaves, and the content Boxa was uploading was more than 10,000 videos. So, over 10,000 videos just with 103 sex slaves. That means these sex slaves appeared in multiple videos. Boxa was making multiple videos with them, which probably still exist in the bathroom. The videos were from SBS's first victim. He came because of the name, thinking it must be related to Boxa's sex level somewhere, and he must have worked on some other videos too. So all the reporters and police together watched the video of SBS Victim 1 and started looking for some similarities in one of the 10,000 videos. Luckily, they found a video where a girl was holding a pink rubber band, the same kind of rubber band the girl was wearing in Victim 1's video. So, the Seoul police, SBS already knew that the victim in the second video was the same person. So when SBS and Seoul police carefully checked that video, they noticed a bookshelf in the background. On it were textbooks from a particular high school, and a girl's name was written on them. SBS and Seoul police gathered all the information and went to that high school to ask around. They found out that the girl with that name actually exists and studies there. So SBS and Seoul police, they find the girl's home address and head there right away. When the Seoul police and SBS enter the girl's house, they find that she lives with her mom and dad. Her parents are sitting in the living room, enjoying comedy shows, laughing and having a good time. But meanwhile, their daughter is struggling with pain and stress, unable to share her feelings with anyone. When the police and SBS rescue the girl, they find some things in her room that she shouldn't have been at his place. They found some sex toys there. There were also torture tools that Boxa used to force that girl to torture her. And the carry bag he used to cover his face in the SBS Victim 1 video was found in his room too. SBS and Seoul police informed her mom and dad about all this. After hearing it, her parents were totally traumatized. They had no idea what their daughter was going through. After that, she was given counseling. He goes to therapy so he can live a normal life and break free from Boxa's grip. Now Seoul police's priority was to catch Boxa, so they started digging into every detail and activity of Boxa. Tracking Boxa through Telegram or his chat rooms was really tough because Telegram's encryption and security are super strong. But Boxa used to charge money for access to his chat rooms, and he accepted payments in cryptocurrency. That's why the Seoul police, after Han Kure's article was published, they started looking into which crypto transaction platforms saw the most activity. Because it was only after Hanak's article came out that Doctor's Room's engagement spiked and Boxa received the highest payment. That's when they found out that the platform called Bestcoin had the most transactions at that time. So the police started keeping an eye on Bestcoin and questioned them. Boxa always accepted payments in Bitcoin and Monero. After getting the payment, he didn't convert the crypto to cash himself. Instead, he would put the cryptocurrency into the accounts of some members from his chat room and then have them withdraw the cash, which he would physically collect. Because of this, the Seoul police kept an eye on Bestcoin's withdrawal hub. Day by day, some teenagers kept coming there and withdrawing large amounts of money before leaving. The police found it suspicious. Where were these teenagers getting so much cash from? So the police started following some of these teenagers. Let's get started. So day by day, some teenagers would come in. They'd withdraw a lot of money. Then they'd hide that money somewhere random, like a public restroom, an abandoned house, or a trash bin. A few days later, another guy would come, pick up the hidden money, and hand it over to a third guy. That third guy would keep the money for himself and not